Good day, everyone, most especially to our dear panelists, department head, and thesis advisors. We are the group of Miss Soxon, Pernito, and Ragasa from BSI HE4A, and we are here to present our thesis entitled A Correlational Study of Students' Multitasking Skills and Students' Retention in TUP Manila.
Rational, multitasking has always been a vital human conduct, but multitasking forces brain and memory research into a more global direction that earlier studies on microanalysis of brain and memory structure and capacity, considering human existence, the causes of our heightened attention, society's increased interest in security issues, the change of the workplace where individuals are increasingly forced to perform activities that previously belongs to others, and most importantly, the communication gadgets are widely used in both business and recreation activities. Memory retention is essential in student academic lives. Students who struggle with retention may work to remember class lectures. They may also need to solve mathematical problems that involve a series of steps. To solve those problems, they must access the data about math facts from long-term memory while recognizing how much they have just finished and what they need to do.
And for our research methodology, the research question 1 or SOP 1, what is the profile of the students in terms of first age, gender, year, and course? The research design, the researcher will employ a quantitative correlational study design and the respondents are 100 out of 1,653 students in industrial education. And the instrument we used is Likert scale and the data analysis or statistical treatment is simple percentage. For our SOP 2, what is the significant impact of multitasking skills to the students? The research design, the researcher will employ a quantitative correlational study design and the respondents are 100 out of 1,653 students in industrial education and the instrument is Likert scale. And for our data analysis and statistical treatment, we use weighted mean and standard deviation. For our research question 3 or SOP 3, how will you describe the memory retention skills of the students? The research design, the researcher will employ a quantitative correlational study design and the respondents are 100 out of 1,653 students in industrial education and the instrument we used is Likert scale and for our data analysis and statistical treatment, we used weighted mean and standard deviation. For our SOP 4, how will you describe the significant relationship between the multitasking skills and retention of students? The research design, the researcher will employ a quantitative correlational study design, and for the respondents, 100 out of 1,653 students in industrial education, and the instrument is Likert scale, and for our data analysis and statistical treatment, we use the Spearman-Rho correlational coefficient.
So for the result and discussions and findings, as shown as Table 1, the age of 25 years old got the highest frequency and ranking number 1. The second rank is the age of 24, followed by 23 and 20 years old. It only shows that most respondents exposed to multitasking and memory retention are in their mid-20s. It is supposed it is supported by the article of John Hamilton, which stated that while the young child's brain is only capable of focusing on one thing at a time, as the brain develops, it can switch between tasks quickly, reaching a multitasking peak in the 20s or 30s. As illustrated in Table 2, most of the respondents involved in multitasking and memory retention are male. Louis 2021 solidified the result since previous studies examining gender difference in multitasking used either a concurrent or sequential multitasking paradigm and offered mixed results. This study examined the possibility that men were better at concurrent multitasking while women were better at task switching. For the Table 3, as shown in Table 3, respondents included in section BSI HE 4th year obtained the highest frequency and ranked number 1. Second is the course HVAC-R 4th year, followed by BSI ICT under 4th year. So the last rank is tallied at 8th place, which is BSI EIA under 4th year, BTBT Ed FSM under 4th year, and BTBT Ed FSM under 2nd year. So the study revealed through Table 4 that the respondents' response under multitasking, particularly multitasking in class is a natural part of modern everyday life, obtained the highest mean of 4.23. Second is, when I work by myself, I usually work one project at a time, which got a mean of 4.22, followed by my understanding of the course material is reduced when I multitask in class, and my understanding of course material is reduced when I multitask during my preparations in class, in which both obtain 4.07. The last rank is I like to juggle several activities at the same time, which got the lowest mean of 3.41. Students in the modern era are currently facing various demands and requirements during their education, and they need to become creative to face multiple and complex challenges in school. Many students believe that they can multitask, pay attention in class while surfing the internet, sending a message, or checking the status of something online. Faculty members themselves are often tempted by these distractions in meetings and conferences. OTL 2019, students who multitask produced ideas that were coded as more creative. The activation and cognitive flexibility assessments also showed that those two mental states in that order led to greater creativity. Kennan Fragler 2022. So for our table 5, it shows that the responses under memory retention skills, especially I have trouble remembering a particular word, i.e. when on the tip of my tongue, gained the highest rank with a mean of 4.04. The response I remember some facts but forget something important about who said it, where you read it, or where it came from, obtained the second to the highest mean of 3.95, followed by the I often forget something important about what was said in the conversation or meeting, but remember details about who was there, where it was, or when it took place. And I remember something information and then find out late that it is incorrect. Both have the mean of 3.90 under the third rank. When you forget a word, it has not disappeared from memory. It is still there, but in the moment of speaking, something is preventing it from being fully retrieved. What would prevent our what would prevent the retrieval of a word? A word can be thought of as a collection of features. It has a meaning and associated meanings and images. It has a form which includes its pronunciation, a written representation, and a syllable and stress pattern. It also leaves traces in neutral connection of how frequently or recently it has been used. Next slide, please. Okay, so the study revealed that two variables, which are multitasking skills and memory retention skills, have strong and significant relationship since the p-value from Spearman's row coefficient correlation computation is 0.048, which is lesser than the significance level of 0.05. It only shows the strong connection between the two mentioned variables. Their connection is solidified by Bates, 2018, in which multitasking while studying significantly reduces students' ability to recall information. Performing a second cognitive task while studying reduced students' ability to remember a list of words by 33% compared to a control group. Listening to music, though, had only a very modest negative effect.
For our conclusion, the study may conclude that there are advantage and disadvantage to utilizing student multitasking skills, but on the other hand, it seems that using this skill in modern times is one necessity among the many required and important tasks that students must attend to. The use of multitasking skills is becoming the norm of these days so that students can fully meet their obligation in memory retention. Students have long-term memory and their memory retention skills are in sync. However, there are times when it is inevitable that someone forgets something like word retrieval, where they forget a word about the details of what they talk about, which is still essential in their studies.
And for our recommendation, students need to have an intervention program that will balance their utilization of multitasking skills so that they can also focus on more priority tasks. Educators can provide tasks that have sufficient time deadlines and number per period. Both of the students and educators may utilize the Gantt chart to effectively manage the task given and prevent from excessively usage of multitasking skills, which may indirect eff- which may indirect affect the memory retention.
That's all. Thank you for listening.